Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission.
Have you seen kind of this anemic, or maybe some would even call it a therapeutic gospel, much different than, the robust gospel Jesus meant it to be, come to the forefront of our modern society? And how do we push back against this to experience what Jesus truly meant for us to understand through him and through the gospel?
Well, it's been said, it's cliched, but the church is supposed to be in the world, but too often the world is in the church. And that same self-centered mentality has been taken into the church. And in large part, we as church leaders are responsible for that. We've catered to that. We've told people it is about what you want. This is your church. You should have what you want. It should service you the way you feel you should be serviced. We'll try to entertain you. We'll try to come up with entertaining services each week that bring you pleasure. And we won't talk about stuff that you think is offensive or uncomfortable. And so we have this very anemic message that goes out every week. And the people literally think it's about them. It's about, this is my church, they'll say. And I don't like it when we do this, or I like it when we do that. And so church has become simply something that you attend. And I've said increasingly, here in America, after COVID, church attendance dropped about 30% on average. And people said, well, where did those 30% of our people go? And a lot of what I've had to say is, well, see, the problem is we were not developing disciples. We were developing church attenders. And we had to keep drawing them back week after week with more exciting music and entertaining sermons. And didn't want the sermons to go too long. We wanted to keep it really convenient for people. And so people just got so used to being catered to that when they had to suddenly quarantine and be at home and they couldn't go to the church building, they discovered, wow, I could just sit here in front of my TV or my laptop and I could just have a smorgasbord of services and preaching and entertainment and it's all about me. Why should I go? And I have all kinds of Americans saying, I don't need to go to church. I can sit in my living room and listen to all the preaching I want to. And you shake your head and say, well, what do you understand church is? That the church is not sitting and just listening to preaching until you've had enough. But we've so distorted what the church really is supposed to even be. A missional, society-changing, life-transforming place. You walk in those doors, you get connected with those people, and stuff happens, and your life changes, and you get swept up into the activity of God. The church was supposed to be something far, far more dynamic than just attending a service once a week. And we have so downsized and what church is supposed to be that now people, even Christians look at the church and they don't even know that they have a need for it. And I would say, well, the way the church is behaving, you don't necessarily need that. But you do need what the church is supposed to be.
Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission. This podcast is powered by Within Reach Global. Subscribe, watch, and listen on YouTube today. Visit missionspulse.com.